Hello everyone, I'm Lovepreet Kaur, your host, and I welcome you all to another special episode of Seedhi Baat. As they say, the influence of a good teacher can never be erased, and today we are here with an extremely influential episode for all of you, which is kind of a tribute for all the teachers in our country who are working day in and day out, and just like a candle, they are consuming themselves to light up our lives. It's a day of celebration because teachers all over the country, all over the world in general, are shaping our future. They're carving out the brightest future, even out of the most dull students like us. And it's a great thing. And today we have a galaxy of young teachers who are adding value to the lives of students. I'll take a brief moment to introduce all of them to you. We have with us Mr. Sebin Nidhiri, who is a teacher in Symbiosis School of Economics in Pune. Right now, he is pursuing MPhil from Delhi School of Economics. Number two is Miss Naina Deepti. She is from Vishakhapatnam. In her experience of 7 years, she has been teaching accounts, commerce, management, skills, and values, and a lot of other stuff. We have with us Mr. Nakul Mehrotra, who's an educator from SRM University of Chennai, one of my favorite universities. He belongs to Uttar Pradesh and he specializes in leadership, relationship building, youth empowerment, and nanotechnology. Is one of the most favorite teachers in the university. We have with us Ms. Avni Rachura, who's an educator at Jaju Group of Educational Institutions. She belongs to Maharashtra and she has about 6 years of experience in preschool education. I'm sorry if I pronounce your names or surnames wrong. Please excuse me for that. We have with us Ms. Suchita Sachin Jain from Maharashtra. She is specialized in Bacchus training and she holds an experience of about 10 years. We have with us Mr. Trivikram. He teaches social studies to students and hails from Telangana. And we have with us Mr. Murli Krishna. He specializes in social studies again, and he has been teaching students from the last 5 years. He belongs to Telangana. We welcome all of you. I think we have quite a huge variety of guests, starting from preschool, school, universities. So it's like a versatile group of people who will be able to guide us through this topic very nicely. I'll put up a question for all of you, and I want all of you to answer the questions one by one. I mean, every question is meant for all of you. And with every question, I am very sure I'll be able to hear extremely different answers based on your experiences. So we'll go about this like that. I'll ask you a question and I'll take your names and you can answer one by one, or else Tushar will do the job of taking the names of teachers. Tushar, just speak out their names and give them a chance to answer every question. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of people, so I think that would be the best way out. I'll ask the very first question. My first question might sound a little weird, but why did you all choose teaching as a profession, and how has your journey, being a teacher been so far? If you could just answer precisely as to why you chose this and how it has been. We'll start with Nakulji.
Sure. Thank you so much for the amazing question. So I felt, this is one of the platform where we can go and impact a lot of lives. And I've been a very average student, and what happened once in class 10 standard, I guess one of the teacher pointed out to me and stated that, somebody, she was telling that, you should be like this guy. And I guess that is one touching point teachers can do in their life. And which eventually I tried in with one of my students who was a very average student. And I motivated him and he went about cracking in one of the top MBA college, XLRI. It's number 4 in India. So that's the power a teacher has, to inspire a person to become from a normal being to a great human being. And I guess that is why I chose this profession. That's my take. Yeah, that's all. Over to you.
Next, let's say here, Mr. Murli Krishna.
Yes, already I said this question. Okay, as before coming into teaching profession, I worked as a analyst in BPO, and I used to teach Sundays and weekend Saturday. So as an instructor, and I have guided high school students, and one day or other day, their parents they came to me, like 3 parents. When you taught him maths and even other subjects, they were keen to observe and learn from you. And now he changed himself and he started reading. And whatever you say, he'll listen to you. We say him, we scold, and whatever we say, he doesn't. And they started telling, you're inspiring them. So then they started this one. So then I thought, this much. Just I said only one word, you'll do better. Why you are doing in a such a way? Do with interest. You play half an hour or 1 hour. Just study for 10 or 15 minutes. So these are the words which I said to him. And he studied for 15 minutes. Then later on he changed playing for 15 minutes and started learning for hours together. That I don't know how I was inspired by my words. But later on I thought even teaching abacus and Vedic maths, even students started learning. And where I saw teaching is my profession and where I could satisfy myself, then I left the job and I came.
So yeah, that's really good to hear, sir. That's really good to hear. Next up, Miss Nana, you can share your
Yes,
experience.
yes, Rahul. Basically, like what made me to become a teacher is like when I was in degree college, we were being told to participate in teacher-student competition. Same way, same day for 5th of September. So we were, in second year degree, and we are supposed to teach our juniors. So like going to the classes of intermediate and all, becoming a teacher, taking up your favorite subjects. So when I was just giving a small session, it was just a fun going session. So that time in that competition among 27 teachers to student teachers, among our friends only, I got selected from the Commerce Association as one of the best student teacher. So that time my ma'am or the head of the department motivated me that you have some good skills who will you can motivate, and you got the votings only because of your liking of the subject and the way you delivered it. So why don't you try for it? So I came into teaching after seeing that enthusiasm, and I loved it.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. That was really great to hear, ma'am. Thank you so much. Next up, Miss Mamta.
Tushar, Mamta is a student.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so
He'll
sorry.
be telling the story to
Next
you
up,
after 5-6 years. Don't worry.
yeah, Mr. Sabin, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Tushar. So, I I haven't had a really long teaching experience, and ever since my grad and post grad, there's one thing I particularly enjoyed doing, and that is public speaking. So, whenever I was on a stage speaking or on a debate platform, that was something I really enjoyed doing. So, after my first job, which was not entirely public speaking related, it was a research related role, of which there was a small part where I had to go to villages and hold gram sabhas and speak to people. So of my entire job, the one thing I liked the most and remember the most are those sessions when I spoke to people. And that wasn't like a public speaking competition. It was where you were educating people about their rights. And so that's where I realized that yes, it has the, like the thrill I get of public speaking. Plus, another more important thing was the way you see how you are adding meaning to people's lives. So that really gives you a kind of satisfaction. So that kind of made my decision to come into teaching, and then I switched lines to teaching and have been enjoying that ever since. So even now I'm doing my research degrees with the hope that this will help in my teaching. So that's my story here.
Yeah, so that was personally saying, like, I have also been quite interested in public speaking, and so to hear your views on that, I was really intrigued about your journey. So thank you so much, sir. And lastly, we have Miss Suchita.
Yeah, like I told you, I've been teaching abacus for the past 10 years. Coming to this teaching training is just because I belong to a Marwari conservative family. And I never wanted to be a typical housewife, that form of carrying the housewife that I didn't want it. And so I thought I should do something, maybe manage my household things as well, something do apart from it. So this is like a quite part-time job. So I manage both the things very smoothly. I can do this. I have my children who are being young now, like his daughter and son. They are being growing up together. So it's not really difficult for me to manage both the things. And as like time went on, I really enjoyed teaching also, because even there I'm learning a lot. So that is what I'm enjoying more. And so it's like a good journey I had experience, like, yeah, and I get like to learn. And when I am a student, even now I have to give an exam. Like in fact, today only I had to give an exam, like practice sheet I have to solve. So it's like a thrilling thing, to be a student as well as a teacher. It's really, I enjoy doing that. So that's
Absolutely.
my journey.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Tushar. And I think all of you have, just like I told, all of you have unique answers. And I remember we being kids, we used to come back from school. Girls usually use their mom's dupatta to drape a sari, and guys usually used to wear those full pants and shirts and try to pretend like teachers. I literally had a
Yeah.
blackboard at my home, and I used to teach the empty bed, imagining students sitting there. And it's a craze, I think the first dream that we all see as kids is either being a pilot or being a teacher. That's what we do. And it's really intriguing, so to see our teachers handling 30 students together. These days, I think parents find it hard to bring up just two kids or one kid that they have, and it's a huge mess for them. I mean, they think it's a huge responsibility. And I feel you guys are amazing because at such a tender age, you having your own kids, just like Suchita ji said, you're handling 30 to 40 kids who are like nowhere disciplined at all. And I salute you for that, because we have been troubling our teachers unnecessarily, and we know that. So it's an amazing thing to do. Pavan, do you have any question for the teachers? The next one.
Yeah, so Sabin sir, I remember the first or the second class we had in Symbiosum during my undergrad. So one of our classmates did some very, something, he locked the door and doesn't let the sir come out. I don't remember the exact thing, something like that. And then he acts as if he's teaching. And those out there, I'll just make a small mention also. Once he taught, how to teach statistics and all, he made one sit on a chair and the other stand on the bench and explain the difference and all that. So it's a very engaging way how things were to be taught. So in that respect, the next question I have is, since lockdown has changed the way teaching is done in terms of online platforms and just like this webinars and all this, and given that even our online classes in my masters have started, and people are finding it very difficult to adjust. So how is the experience for you as teachers, and for those who are now like Sabin sir and others, how do you find this trend taking up, and what holds ahead for us in teaching? So I'll start off with Naina ji, and then we'll go on that way.
Yes. Thank you, Pavan. So basically, like, see, now we are dealing, it's during this pandemic time, we have, for the past 5 months, we have been locked at home. Children are also facing so much of trouble. And also, as from the, first, I would like to say some from the point of view of teachers. So how are they facing the situation? Now we know the education pattern has been changed because of this situation. Earlier it was 10 plus 2 plus 3. Now it's changed to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So now what is happening is everything is locked in the cupboards of schools and colleges. We have to come up with a new syllabus. So teachers are facing trouble at home, making everything new pattern, new syllabus, new everything they have to change. The portion has been reduced to some extent to the only the core of the knowledge. So even teachers are facing difficulty in handling, because see, working at home, working outside, that would be a different task. But working, being at home with kids, with their own family, and also to take up the sessions on time. So that's a bit challenging one during this lockdown. And many of the teachers have been unemployed, like they have been taken up. There are no salaries being given to many of the institutes. So what happened is that there are few challenges teachers have been facing. And coming to a student's point of view, are they really enjoying the online classes during this pandemic with these sessions? Because I have gone through with a class batch of 120 students, like PG students, everyone. So handling those students lively is a different task. And if we'll say, okay, come on, sit, the class is interesting, the topic is interesting, what they will do? They will just enjoy the session. They will sit calm for that next 40 to 50 minutes of span time. But during online classes, students are playing with the minds of teachers. Like they are disturbing the classes. They will sit. They may keep the video off. They will do many different tricks. They are more clever than us. So it's very difficult. It has become very difficult to make them concentrate and focus on the topic what they're going for that day. Taking attendance online has become a very difficult task. One, he will sit, he will ask for the permission. May I go to piss out, ma'am, teacher. It's very difficult to again come get the student back to that place. And so these are some problems during lockdown. The teacher has to look after the subject, new subjects, for creating new material for the students. And there is connectivity issues during lockdowns. Not everyone can afford laptops, and not everyone can afford the Android phones. If you see with remote area students, there are many issues.
So yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. I think for us students only, it is so much difficult to attend. During we're all very lazy to attend and all, and we can only imagine like how difficult it would be for you to handle such a large group of students online. So
Yes.
yeah, thank you so much. Next up, Nakul sir, you can share your views.
So please unmute yourself.
So sorry. Thank you. See, so I have a very limited knowledge on this line because I've been taking classes for off campus basis. So I've been taking sessions. I feel one thing very common here after seeing a lot of students out there. I guess there's a motivation to be developed, which is still lagging out. The real motivation, the hunger of knowledge, because I have heard all this, inputs that people are, playing around, kids are playing around videos and all. That is all happening because even teachers are not valued that level. And on the other side, teachers also have to understand their level. When a kid is like, I met some crazy kids at SRM also. They were very notorious. And when I went and talked to them, had a nice discussion with them, they're all very good now. So I guess we all have to develop that rapport kind of thing and pick up the things. Obviously, it's a tough situation and it's hard for me to comment on this. Maybe other guest speakers can add a lot of value. So I'll hand it over to you all, please. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I've been working very closely with Nakul sir, and I would say that he has been a mentor for me since my first year. I've learned a lot of things that I wouldn't have learned if I wouldn't have been connected with him. So I would thank sir for giving me all that I have right now. So yeah, moving on, Murli sir, you can share your views.
Okay, sir. I'll talk on this online teaching during this pandemic. So the one thing it has made for the teachers to learn this, computer related things. If I've not worked in any BPO, even I don't know how to make a PowerPoint presentation or else how to teach online. So what it will come and everything. And I have seen even my colleagues who are very seniors. I have seen them, they are faced in lots of trouble. Now they have studied that. And even it was a dream of some teachers that they have to send mail and they have to make a PPT. That it has been achieved. And even it's a difficult task, as Nana teacher has mentioned. Students, they are so naughty and they know more than the teachers. Because even if we are taking Zoom classes, they'll on the video and they'll turn on, and even they'll keep some videos. Even if teachers initially, when we started, we don't know how to mute all the students. So we need to. So in the first 2 days, so what students started doing, they started keeping some music and other things. And even if we share the screen, started scribbling the things. These all things it went on, and before teacher knows it, they knows each and everything. So this is how, and even this online platform, don't think in the wrong way. Students, what they started, these Zoom classes or other thing they used as a communication purpose. WhatsApp. Their class is running, they started chatting. So this is how, what after 1 week I came to know by a student. So they are chatting, you have blogged now, only to the host. Now they are unable to chat. So this is what it went. And even for teachers, it became very difficult initially. And one more thing, point I wanted to mention in online teaching, for teacher, it became very difficult because he has to speak continuously for 40 minutes or 1 hour, whatever the time which has been given to him. And even interaction is also very less. Student and teacher interaction is very less. So here we are lagging in. And even the mindset in the teacher is that now we are teaching. I think the parents are going to listen, or someone X is going to listen. So these are the things which we had previously. And what I thought, whatever it may be, how I'll teach in class and how I'll enjoy, what jokes I'll crack with the students. If I teach in such a way, students will engage. Now, as a student, they are in a comfort zone. Mobile is there. They can eat. Even some quarreling or some nice song, if it is coming in the TV, they'll divert. So you should be in a position that you need to grab their attention. How you worked hard previously, it doesn't matter. Now you need to focus in your teaching skills. You need to be more smart, and you need to become even a student. Even like trolls or something which goes on. Even you need to talk about that in the between, because if you make fun in the class, now they'll be attentive. As a student, 8th, 9th, 10th, if you talk about the colleges, they'll listen, or that they know what is its importance. As a student, now they are sitting in a comfort zone. So we need to grab their attention. And so as a teacher, you need to work more, and don't think whether parent is listening or the guardians or someone. You just crack these jokes and take attention of the student. So this is what I thought, and I started implementing. And even you can use not only English, even you can go with Telugu regional language or Hindi. So this is what the teaching it should be. What I have realized after 1 month of teaching. Previously, I had in my mind what parents will be teaching, what management will think, when my principal will come and listen to my class, why you are silent now for 10 minutes while sharing, why you are not talking. So only the flaws they'll be seeing of. And my student is not attending the class, you just make a call. So many problems, even making call to the students, and students only will read, my student is not interested. If we ask any doubt, sir, internet problem. Before that, no internet problem. Many things, they have become smart and they started giving many different kinds of answers. We should be over smart. It means.
Yeah, for example, I'll give you an instance. So a few days back, we had some lecture going on, and so the teacher just mentioned good morning. The professor just mentioned good morning. Somebody types in one of my classmates, he's a mischievous fellow, so he types in the chat box, "What is good in the morning?" And that set the whole thing rolling. And I mean, so that was just and I'll just make a mention, just quick mention. So we are like around 4 minutes left for this part to conclude. So before that, we'll wind up with Sabin sir and Suchita ji, and we'll carry on to the next session. I have sent the link also.
Yes, we have.
We can maintain the next 3 minutes. If we can conclude this part, we can move on to the next one.
So yeah, next up, Sabin sir, you can share.
Okay, so one of the main difference I have felt from offline teaching and online is that it doesn't leave you as satisfied as earlier as a teacher. I don't know how it is with students, but I would think so as well. When you are in a class and you see their reactions, it's not just the verbal communication, even the non-verbal communication. You see the face. It all gives you a lot of feedback and tells you maybe this is some point you need to stress a little more on. Maybe they've not understood this bit. So all that kind of feedback is absent in a virtual lecture. And like the teachers and sir before me mentioned, sometimes students do keep their videos, most times students do keep their videos off. So you have no sense of feedback as to, what is happening. And I think the same applies to students as well. Even when you go and take a lecture, it's not just what you say, it's your body language and all the other gestures which actually get the students' attention and keep them interested as well. So all those things are getting absent in a lecture virtually. So all these are challenges. Having said that, I think this is the best we can do in this scenario, and probably everyone will realize the need for offline real classrooms and will switch back at the earliest possible. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, sir. So I can understand that in current times, for us students, it is really easy to, just attend and have all this. But for teachers, it is really, really difficult. And as Murli sir said, I've noted down most of the points that he said that, students do this, do that. So I'll try to improve myself also. So yeah, Sushita ma'am, you can.
Please repeat.
Yeah, here I would like little contrary to Sabin sir. Actually, now what happened is when I'm online, I'm having more bonded. I'm getting more bonded with the children as well, with the parents also, because somewhere around the parents are roaming here and there, and somewhere we are getting connected more. Previously, it used to be only like till students, but now, yeah, sometimes like if the children go cranky, they do the videos off, and but what I do is I make it interactive session, so they enjoy, and definitely because even we will be aware ki how much they are actually interested, how much they are paying attention. So I keep on like 10-15 minutes we'll have a break, we keep asking questions, so there we can get the connectivity is continuing or not, like are they really present minded, are they really doing something else. So that way I feel being more interactive sessions if we keep instead of only one way through, because previously others or Madhur sir told ki it was only one way. Like I used to take initially only one way. I was only teaching. Like I used to not really realize ki are the children really taking in? Are they understand? Again, I have to keep on asking. Are you listening? Are you paying attention? Are you able to hear me? So these are things. Now has been stopped. In fact, they keep asking me, ki means what is there now? What we are taking next? So it is like more interactive session. So they enjoy it more. I feel that is like I found it better, in fact, with the online sessions. That's it.
That's quite unique. We have unique answers, just like we said before. We have unique answers from all of you, and your personal experiences are helping each other and us to improve. Let's meet in the next session now. Please join that link immediately.
Sure. Thank you for lovely.
Thank you.
So
Thank
the
you.
link is sent via.
Okay, so it was great to hear from all of you. And of course, there has been a huge transition. I think education is again one of the most affected categories in the lockdown. NEP came and then everything shifted to online education. And suddenly from classroom learning, we came to Zoom learning, Google Meets learning, which in my opinion will never be as effective as as classroom learning, because we have been studying in classrooms for the last about 20-22 years. And it's not easy for us to quickly transition into something as versatile as online. It's very easy to switch apps, to use Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube side by side, while listening to our teachers. It's very easy to get distracted. Now, call it our fault or call it the fault of how we are brought up. But then, yes, we are like that. And maybe it will be a little easier for the upcoming generations, the younger kids, if we have a good infrastructure, one, in our country, and number two, if we have such resilient teachers and students will be as dedicated to online interfaces as well as much they are in the classrooms. So that's how it goes. I think Tushar has a very interesting question to ask to all of you. Although I think all of you have been giving nice tips and tricks to make your classroom engaging throughout the conversation, but he particularly wants to ask you about how to create positive classrooms. Tushar, go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you. My question to all of you is like, what is your idea of a positive classroom? We all sit and you all teach, and what is your idea, like how do you make the environment positive inside the classroom? And moreover to that, I would also like to ask that what is your idea of teaching character to us, like students like me, and what is your idea, basically your idea of how would you like to create the positive environment inside the classroom? So yeah, Sabin sir, you can start off.
So Tushar, that's an interesting question, and I think the answers would vary a lot depending on the age of the kids you are teaching. Now, I wouldn't personally, so at the level, say at a college level, I'm not sure how much a young teenager or someone in the early 20s would be open to any sort of advice or character building. So that part of the thing is mostly not explicitly done. So to some extent, yes, maybe they do take lessons from how you conduct yourself in your classroom or outside classroom on campus. So that maybe to some extent does they take cues from. But that's not something I personally haven't tried explicitly to. But regarding what you mentioned about a positive classroom, that's something very interesting as well. And one of the things from my time as a student, what I feel is a classroom should always feel like a space where a student is always happy to be in and also free to ask questions. So I always make it a point to try and keep it that way. So even if some question is say something you've explained 100 times and they're going to come back with the same question again, I wouldn't want to put that across as, it's been answered. I don't want to get into it, but maybe keep the answer short in the interest of the whole class. But the point would be that, give them the freedom to ask questions. And that, I think, is my way in which I would make a positive classroom. And at any point, I always keep this in mind that always have a mirror to myself and back check, because at any point you're observed by 30-40 people, and your actions, maybe it may seem right to you, but you always have to think, was I fair or unfair in that? Because that sends a message. So even if you're being strict, that's totally up to how you handle the class, but always try and be fair in whether you're being strict or how. So that is the one thing I keep with my lectures. Yeah.
So, Seven,
so
I just remember the way, when after the class, after you ended the class, like in the last 5 minutes, you would put on a general discussion, shifting the classroom away from the topic so that it can be a bit more engaging. And that is something that many don't often do, at least in what I saw after in the post-graduation, it was not very engaging in some way. So that kind of a takeaway is something very interesting, which I remember, because I think that kind of a thing has to be done, honestly. And over to you, Nakulji.
To maybe add on to that, that is not my original idea. That is
Yes.
from one of my teachers who taught me, who used to have that, that at the end 5 minutes of a lecture, he would keep it open to anything the student may want to discuss regarding the syllabus or not. And sometimes when I think back of the whole semester I took his course, the things I probably remember more are the things in those last 5 minutes which was not related to the syllabus, more than the 55 minutes of teaching related to the syllabus. So I thought that, I should be, trying to provide such a space to my students as well. So it's not my idea, it was borrowed from my teachers.
I would just like to add here, I think these teachers have this characteristic of, taking forward legacy from their teachers. So probably I'm going to take forward legacy from this session when I'll be a teacher. But then I've seen this, most of the teachers, that's really generous of you, Sebenji, that you said your teacher taught you this and you are trying to implement it in with little bit of modification, whatever you want to do. But then it's really generous of you, because most teachers, they use these tricks and tantrums to engage you. And most of them, they learn from either their mentors or their parents or whomever they have studied once in their lifetime at least. So it's really interesting, and that is a very good quality, I feel. It's one only profession where we carry forward the legacy from generation after generation after generation. In any other field, you can't. A software engineer cannot carry forward legacies, because then again softwares are changing, right? But then teachers have this quality, and it's really appreciable. Tushar, you can call out the next name.
So next up, Nakul sir, I would really love to hear what you have to say regarding this.
I guess you all have touched a very good point, that the reality is that only we are learning from our expert mentors and gurus, correct? So we take a legacy from there and we transfer it there, and we are getting the credits. Actually, it's not that way. It's all them who are giving us knowledge. And seriously speaking, I've been following Kalam Saab very closely, and I have touched by his examples, beautiful example. Maybe we can discuss in some of the sessions, but yeah, that is how it is. And I guess as one of our guest person, Sebenji, said, we all have to reflect on ourselves. I heard a funny example. One of my colleague was telling about his kid. That his kid came to from school and telling, I want to change my school. And then father asked, why? What happened? And he said, my teacher is telling that water is blue. And when I'm seeing water is transparent. I'm not happy with that. So see the level of students now, we have to improve on our side, and we have to engage with them. And again, we have a very notorious kid in our home, I was trying to sit with him and do a storytelling. How are you doing? And I guess when you start connecting with these kids, I know it's very tough to connect on a personal level. And I guess this is what we are talking about, character building. So when you touch their heart, when you start discussing with them, when you connect with them heart to heart, and I feel that they start changing. And now this same notorious kid come every evening asking for me, Naku Chacha, please come with me and play, Why? Because we are trying to match up their frequency. We are trying to understand their theme of mindset. Obviously, they might be notorious, but we have to understand their mindset and give them that kind of dose, So this character building plays a very important role. And I believe all our teachers, have that great power to touch the lives of people. And if we start doing that, and I know there are a lot of teachers who have to improve a lot on their side also. I had teachers, who are very, 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 kind of strict. So I remember one of my teachers, when I asked him a question, he said, come to the exam room. I'll ask you questions there. So I was like scared. And I guess that is what one of our 7G was trying to convey. We teachers should be very open. And even I receive calls night 11 o'clock, and you might be receiving such calls, schools are having doubt at night 11, they're calling up. And I guess that is the kind of relationship we have to dedicate. And we all are dedicating, I guess. And that's the reason people are doing so wonderful, And that's all from my side, yeah. What do you, Sharji?
Yeah, that was really great, sir. That was really great to hear from you. Next up, Miss Naina, if you would please.
Yes, thank you, Tushar. So as they said, like both of them have said very well at that point, that how a teacher should be building a teaching character among themselves and also among the students. So basically, first of all, I would like to also say, like, keep open, give some space to students. And the major part, a good quality is that be a good listener. Teachers should be built up, developing that nature of like listening to the students. It's not like that given a chance, taking the session, blah, 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 over the session. No. First give a chance. Once your concept has been delivered, okay, fine. But at the end of the day, let the student come up with related to the concept, related to the topic, or let's first be expressive, so that the next time onwards he will have a good rapport with the student, with the teacher, and he will be motivated to express it. Whatever the things are, like, give some ease, make the students at ease, let them come up with the ideas so that their creative and critical thinking ability will increase. And also teachers should develop the quality of being responsible. How responsible? Give some responsibility to students who are naughty or who are like mischievous in the class. Once you give them that responsibility, definitely they will take it as a challenge in the entire class. Wow, I've been given the charge, I should do something. Then automatically the child changes and he becomes so proud. He will become into a positive note. He will become a good citizen. Let them give the willingness to participate. Give the desire, show our love towards the students through the subject. That would be a great one, and we should have that commitment. Enjoy the work. As a teacher, first develop the quality of enjoying. Enjoy your work. You have to be passionate about to go and do something, to create a mark in someone's life. Make a day, someone's day. That would be a great environment. Be positivity, crack jokes, like energizers, give sessions, activities. So that will break the silence among the students. That would be a great one, to have a positive environment.
I mean, Naina ji, thank you for this brief that you said. And this is really interesting. All our lives, we've been picturizing teachers as those villains. As soon as they enter the class, we'll just keep quiet. And I don't know what bomb blast will happen as soon as she comes into the classroom. We have been having that kind of an image. I feel the only reason why you should be scared of your teachers is that you have respect towards them. That reverence should be there. That's the only reason that should make you quiet. Nothing else. Because I see these teachers are so cool. And I've been fortunate enough to get all the teachers who were absolutely understanding, engaging. They were all young and they would just talk to us. Outside the classroom, we would be friends. And inside the classroom, we would just be quiet because we respect them, not because they are disastrous. So I feel all these teachers, they themselves are somebody's kids, somebody's partners, somebody's parents. So they can pretty much relate to what phase we are going through and what we are doing. However smart we are, they know what we are doing sitting on the bench. Just by seeing our faces, that where is this person right now? Is he here or is he in the cinema hall? So what we need to do is we need to be quiet due reverence and not due to fear. Because after this session, I think I have a more cool image about teachers. You guys are absolutely cool. Okay,
Thank you,
Tushar, carry
Lovepreet.
on.
Yeah, that was some really great points, ma'am. Really, I was really, enlightened, like, how they should come. And, even in my college, like, we attend classes, and we also sometimes, teachers ask and teachers make fun, they create the environment, and we all just enjoy that. And I think that is really the way to move forward to, make these classes more engaging, because there is no other way. Right now, we can't do anything else to, make the topic more understandable to us. And teachers have a lot to, I'm just really, my respect is now on another level for teachers. They have so much to do in so little time, and you guys are just, you perfectly do all the jobs. So thank you so much.
Tushar, sorry to interrupt again. I have one interesting thing to add. We don't have a PT teacher over here right now, a sports teacher. So the PT teachers are the most interesting teachers we have in school. Personally, in my Hyderabad school, I had one of the most amazing PT teachers, and usually these are the ones who we meet first. The first person we meet on the school gate, and probably they are the ones who sometimes ruin our days because of incomplete uniform or dirty faces or messy hair or whatever. So I mean, he or she, whoever is a PT teacher is not here right now, but I want to tell you guys, you are also amazing, because it's because of you we know how to dress up and how to look like humans today. If you were not there, I think that element of discipline comes from the PT teacher of your school, and the dean of your college, basically. So these are some categories which put in this character of discipline into you. So a huge respect to them as well, along with these cool teachers. But yes, these are more cool than you. That's the truth.
So yeah, moving on, Miss Chita, you could please come in and share.
Most of the things are covered, but I would like to add, previously Lovepreet told, yeah, we need a teacher. Like when we are a student, we look into a teacher. We need a friend more than a teacher. Only then we are getting more bonded, and we have to give them an aim. You'll not believe, like parents come to me and ask, why are you not a strict teacher? Like I don't know how to be strict. I can't be strict with the students. I am very lovely. I be very friendly. The atmosphere, I make it so cool. I don't know. I don't know how to be strict at all. Like my franchise senior teacher, she keeps on telling, you have to scold them or punish them. I think for a moment I'll do it, and for the next moment I forget it, like completely. I'm not having that habit only. Somewhere that is maybe a plus point also, and maybe a minus point also. But I think that is also one thing, because children look for you. They prefer me as a teacher. Like they prefer you only if you are not very strict and you are friendly. And sometimes you have to be cozy with them. You should understand what they want, or we have to go with their mood blends also. Sometimes like they are not in mood to do something, so we have to be we have to make them understand why you have to do it first of all, and we have to give them an aim. That is one thing. Like to make them achieve something, they have to understand why we are studying now. Like especially because my course is like related. What are the benefits of this? Why you have
Why factor?
I think there is an interruption. I think we can move on to the next. So we can adjust, no issues.
It's okay. We'll listen from her. Oh, okay, she's here.
Okay. Yeah, something there.
We lost you, Suchita ji. Yes, please continue.
Okay. I was just I was telling that we need to give them aim, only a target. Only nowadays it's more like bribing children, you can say. Only then if you give them something, कि ये तुमको मिलेगा, ये करोगे तो ये मिलेगा. So it's like that, for everything we need to give them a target. Only then they are like really working hard. That's it. I feel that is how we can make them motivate to do something.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. That was also really a great perspective to hear. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Lastly, you're not going to get anything, Tushar. You're not getting anything for doing it.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, lastly, Mr. Murli.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to mention, as last couch, she said, PT teachers. And as a student life, students never they don't want to miss the school when they have PT period. So remaining days, if they have test or other thing, if school is band or some holidays coming, they'll feel happy. If that day they have PT, if that day is declared as holiday, they'll feel nervous. So it means they love their PT teacher a lot, and that the sir or the game, whatever it may be. And in the same way as we are talking about the positivity, when it comes to me, we need to be friendly to the students and at the same time little strict. Like I cannot say we need to be strict. When we fly a kite, so we need to release the thread and even we need to hold at the same sometimes simultaneously. When they are going wrong way, we need to guide them. So this is a road where you go, it is you go in a correct way. We are choosing in this way. We are here. So if you come to this road, you will enjoy the world and everything. And we need to guide now, especially I'm dealing with 10th class students last year. And where I did not fulfill my thing is that not interacting with the all and not encouraging because I felt because we didn't have that much time to interact with each and every student, and even sometimes I have ignored few students whenever they have asked the doubts, or else even to motivate them we are going in a wrong way. So we failed, and sometimes they feel that sir is favoring to only particular students. It means responding to them. When a student is responding, obviously the teacher has to respond them. And there are some students waiting that they don't speak, or else they don't come out until and unless we speak for 10 times. So then they'll reflect. Once if they start speaking, we can't stop them, and there'll be something. This is what we need to do. And when students feels that yes, the teacher will be listening my words, and I can understand the teacher, and even they should be in a limit that if I do wrong, then my work so will be done by the teacher. मेरा काम हो जाता.
That was a very subtle warning, sir.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, thank you so much. Thank you for answering. Thank you, Tushar. And I think we have got a couple of amazing words: bolstering leadership, being a good listener, being a good friend to your students. And now that teachers are taking a step forward to being understanding towards us, I think it's very difficult for teachers because every child's need is different. Just like I told you, parents are finding hard to raise one kid. Even if they have one kid, they think it's really hard to understand the psychology of that kid. And a teacher has 40 minutes in a day to come into the classroom, and within those 40 minutes, he's supposed to understand your psychology, supposed to teach you something, and then supposed to get responses and questions from you. That's quite a task, guys. Parents sometimes are not even able to do that in 40 years. So we need to respect that. Now teachers are improving, the young teachers are taking a step forward towards understanding us, towards being good friends, towards making us complete individuals instead of making us just professionals. And it's our responsibility wholly and solely to be very, very respectful towards your teachers. I'm seeing a lot of news on Instagram and social media as to how students are abusing their teachers on online classes, how they are trying to irritate their teachers, they're imitating them, they are trying to offend them, they're trying to get into their privacy and stuff. Guys, please don't do this, because it's very hard for a teacher, for a person to manage their professional life and personal life, to be at home, to manage their little kids, to manage their partners, their parents, and then to also come into the class right at time, speak for 40 minutes non-stop and educate you. It's a big thing. Even if you don't want to listen, please at least don't disrespect them. Try to understand the times are bad. Even they are not liking the online scenario, but they're still trying their best to not put a pause in your education, and that, my friends, is a big thing, and we need to respect that. So please do not do this. Whoever is trying to deep down, check in yourself what you're doing. Change your attitude towards your teachers. At the end of the day, I'm telling you from my experience, I'm 22 years old, I've done my BTech. Right now I stand here and I really feel like giving away all the credit to those who have been teaching me since I was a kid, starting from my mother. So you don't realize the importance when you're young. They say joshila khoon, jawan khoon hai. You don't realize at that point of time, but later on when people come and appreciate your character, they come and appreciate you for anything, you always deep down know somebody has taught you that, and it's your duty to be respectful towards the person who has taught you, regardless of the fact if you are a teacher's favorite or not. Nobody is a teacher's favorite. It's just that who respects them and who relates with them at a personal level, who gives them respect and answers them, is the one who teacher would obviously respond to, just like Murli ji said. So there's no favorite or something like that. Or each of us
Lovepreet,
is
so
responsible.
since we have like covered quite a wide
Yeah.
range of topics, I think we can go up. I think we can wind it up with.
I think, Pavan, I have one last question. I really want to know from all of them, in brief, like very, very brief, their one happiest moment in their life as a teacher. And then we'll wind up.
Seven sir, get ready.
Okay. All of you have to tell us, maybe you can take
Yeah.
30 seconds to 40 seconds
Yeah.
to brief what was the happiest moment
they
in your
got it,
life
yeah.
as a teacher,
I think they got it, yeah.
or anything else if you want to add as a feedback. We'll start with Nakulji.
Yeah, so I guess the
Nakulji?
most beautiful thing which happened here, I hope you're able to hear me.
Yes, sir.
There's a voice lag, correct? Yeah. So one of the beautiful moments which happened with me is one of my student where we worked for 3 months for MBA entrance exam, one of the top college. He came running and said, where are you, where are you? And then he showed his email that he's selected for one of the top college in India. And I guess that is the biggest thing I've achieved in my life personally, because I've never wrote any exam and I'm not qualified it. And my student went about and did that. And still my brother scolded me for that, you know, that guy is earning so big and what you guys are doing, you are still teaching kids. So yeah, that's a beautiful story about teachers. You know, we are all always on our same path, and our students grow all their life, and wish them, we want to grow them, see them growing. You know, so this is what I had to share with you all. Probably we can go next, as Tushar and Lovepreet saying.
Yeah, so
Nakulji,
next.
if you could also add, if you have any message for the students.
Yeah, so I guess I have message for both of them, teachers as well as students. We both are a great set of people. Only thing we have to understand mutually each other and build up a strong relationship, and come out with great people like Kalam Saab or Swami Vivekananda. And I guess that should be our ultimate aim. Because if we can give people like that to a country, we are going to shine like anything. That's my message. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, sir, that was really great, sir. That was really great. It really motivates me now, sir, to do something for my teachers as well. So yeah, next up, Murli sir, we would love to hear.
Thank you, sir. So one of the greatest moment as you talk in a student's life, when we work as a teacher, it will be the warm wishes, or from their heart it comes whenever they wish something, or else they wish to the teachers, and whatever it may be, greetings or anything. And apart from this, even in teaching, I've been to the other branch for as a guest lecturer for 10 days, but it happened for 3 months. There I asked before itself the teachers who will be naughty and who makes mess in the class and everything. And I have written their names, and I started asking them questions, and I started pampering them. Then on farewell day, they came to me and they started saying, "Sir, other teachers were very strict to us. So that's the reason no one means I'm not saying it like that. It means they are very strict because they are too naughty." And myself, to make my job in a better way, that they should not disturb. Because I went as a guest lecturer, I praised them and everything. Then they turned up and they started reading my circuit and everything. And the day they said, "Sir, you are really awesome and we follow you." And still he calls and he says all the personal things, whatever it happened in the class, even Zoom class, I was telling in the Zoom they were chatting and everything. So this is, and another point I wanted to mention is that online teaching, where students are turning off their camera, as Sabin sir said previously, because interaction is not going to take place. So when the students, it happened with me itself, when I took for 600 students class, I started teaching and I started calling few names. Then around 50 to 75 members, they have turned on their cameras and they were listening eagerly. That day, compared to previous day, and on that day, I started teaching more interestingly, and by seeing their faces and everything. When online teaching started, we see their absence. They are turning off. So if they on their cameras, and as a student, I give motivation. turn on your camera and be attentive towards the teacher, so that teacher will get some energy. So this is what teachers are lagging nowadays at present. So this is what I wanted.
And Rahul sir, any message that you have for teachers and students? Any message that you want to spread across?
Spread across. As a teachers, sir, I can tell you, like, I know nowadays most of the teachers has been terminated from their jobs. Only few they have taken, and the teachers who has been terminated, they need to access to internet and everything. And there are other teachers that are thinking that it is a burden, and they need to work hard to come up. And even now, the present generation, what I felt, we need to be up to the mark, means we need to see what they are doing and everything we need to watch, and we need to communicate with them, and we need to say sometimes, yes, we will play, come and together, and you are a student, I am a teacher, I should not be like that. So we need to be friendly at this times. Then only they'll open up. What is there in their mindset as a teacher, they will come to know. And for students, we cannot say that, it depends upon the teacher. And teacher is so what it depends
Okay,
upon the
sir.
teacher.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Seven, sir, you can go up next.
Okay, so a memory which I really cherish is something which really tells me how students do really remember you much after. So I've left teaching for 2 years now and was back to being a student. And almost a year after leaving the job, when the students had their farewell, they invited me for the farewell. So uh, that kind of was really a good thing, because although you may have spent maybe 6 months, of which a total of say 30-40 hours in class, the fact that they remember you for what you did is something where I mean, which really made me happy. And so that I think is one of the main thing which I do remember. And of course, Pawan's batch I taught for 2 semesters, and I personally know a lot of them and still keep in touch. So I think that is a really good feeling I have. And maybe a couple of things for like teachers and students, I would say one of the things I learned from that short while is the amount of impact even the smallest actions have on students. So just a small experience which I had was that I used to write small whatever comments on the examination answer sheet. So maybe if it's a good thing, you write a good, or if it's not good, you probably say you can improve, or something about their answer or something. So it was not conscious, where somewhere something I felt a comment I would write. So it did happen that not everyone did get the comment. So there was once an instance where I was happening to speak to a student, which was 2 years after I taught him. And he told me that, sir, during one small internal exam, a small 20-mark internal exam, you wrote comments on all my friends' papers, but you didn't write anything on mine. So is it that I am so bad that doesn't even warrant a comment? Was his question. So it kind of really, to me, it hurt a little bit, that, and it also gave me the realization that the smallest actions which you do really leave an impact, that he remembered it 2 years after as well. So I think for teachers, whoever, a lot of senior teachers, also senior teachers here would also know this, but anyone who's getting into this profession, I think this one thing, that you don't know what all actions you do or what all you don't do are the ones which students take away. So it's a really good opportunity to touch so many lives. And for students, as a student, one of the things is that some of the like ideas and thoughts have come to me from really random lectures. So it may not be a topic or subject of your interest. Maybe you're someone who doesn't like maths. Maybe you're someone who doesn't like, say, English. But do pay attention to whatever, and don't miss those classes. It's more true for college, where you are allowed to miss classes. But I think there is something or the other you can take away from every lecture. It might not be exactly with the subject. It may be about something else. But yeah, this is from personal experience as a student, that some of the best ideas or thoughts I've had came from lectures I didn't like altogether, or subjects I was not supposed to sit for. So that's one. And I wish all the teachers here a happy Teachers Day, and all the students who also a happy Teachers' Day, and Pawan, Lovepreet, Tushar, and whoever, because as part in whatever you do, I think you're also being educators,
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. That
virtual
was
educators online.
yes, that was really a great, sir. Really great. Next up, Nayana ma'am, you can go ahead.
1 second. Before you start, one point I just wanted to add, sir. Sorry for the interruption. Sir.
No, sir, no
Like,
problem.
yeah. From teacher side, I just wanted to tell you one thing, because I teach in a corporate school where I got opportunity to teach other branch students. As I said previously, it be natural, and how you crack the jokes and the classroom atmosphere. We need to teach in the same way. And the students, what I got from the student message is that nowadays the teachers, they are not giving chance for the student to raise the dog. So this is what the students, most of them, they have mentioned. And here we need to give some chance to the students to ask, either in the chat box or even raising their hands. So this is what lagging in schools. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Nayana ma'am, if you could please come up. We have just 4 minutes left, so we would like if everyone could share the message.
Unmute.
We all been knowing that Skill India movement, like it is the initiative taken by Pradhan Mantri Modi. Now it's been 5 years. They have completed for skills and value, like educating the unemployed youth throughout the country and make a skill capital of the world soon. By 2020, they thought of, but it will go. And we have won many of the prizes in educating the students. Though they might have discontinued, the remote area students might have discontinued their studies due to many reasons. So I have come across one of the students. We have here Arku Valley. There is a place here where Stripes resides. So what happens is, like, I have an experience with a student who came up to our institute for, like, we will be training for free of like for 30 days, 35 days. We'll train them in their interested area, and then we will give them employability skills. They will learn them, teach them interview skills, how to face the interviews and crack the interview and get an independent job, at least to have a livelihood, basic livelihood. So one of my students from Arku, we brought him. He was completely, like, he was a complete normal individual. He doesn't know even the outside world, like in the city, what's happening, how should live, how should we wear, because they are from tribal areas. So we in the span of 35 days, we educated him. I personally educated him because I was a coordinator for soft skills and all, skills and values, developing them, motivating them in every day, each day, because they left their houses and they came to our institute with the hope that they will be provided with a job, at least to fetch 10,000 rupees per month. So I motivated him. I got him placed in one of the PVR cinemas. We all know, right? PVR cinemas. So he was so amazed. Like, I was zero, madam, and I was not knowing English. The main problem is the language problem. He was thinking that, ma'am, I don't know English, I don't know nothing, but you motivated me in such a way that I could fetch a job in PVR cinemas as a floor manager. That was a big achievement for him in his lifetime. Though he was studied only 10th standard, but he got that opportunity only because of the motivation I provided. I proudly say it to everyone. So he went to his house, to Arku Valley again, and what could he give me? Though they are from very economically down background, he brought after 50 days, he brought me a pack of black pepper and a few fruits, some of the fruits that he made it from his cultivation. And he told me, ma'am, this is my gift for you. I can only offer you this gift, ma'am. Please accept it. This is my gift because you made me capable of fetching a job independently. That was my happiest moment in my life. That change I could make for someone. So I felt so happy. So that is the happiest moment. And my tip for teachers is, like, be open, have some patience, stay interested, stay motivated among yourself. Don't lose your heart during this pandemic. This is just a temporary phase. And to students, just go ahead, respect teachers.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think we have less than a minute left, and if we could all just join again and hear what Sujita ma'am has to say. We are all very
Yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
We
will
are all,
just,
and we are all
yeah,
very
yeah.
appreciative of the time that you are giving.
Yes, yes.
So yeah,
Just I would say one word, one sentence, like teacher is the nation builder. Only teachers are building the doctors, engineers.
Suchita ji.
Yeah, uh, I think I will start again. Like what I was, firstly, I will share my memory here. The best memory with being a teacher is like just last Teachers' Day I had. A student who was like past 2 years, she was like, she's left, means she's completed her course. And after 2 years, she came to me last Teachers' Day. And she told that she's got a project from school to just have a selfie with your favorite teacher, and it was really a touching moment. Like she came to me and she said that you are my favorite teacher, and after 2 years of, like, even being had a break and all, after that, even then she came. So it's like a great reward I had. I felt very touched, and like felt like, yeah, it's like just teaching. I did not take teaching just for granted. I have taken it very passionately, and I have done it very deliberately. I have given my full commitment. So of course, like, it's a great reward, like something comes to you like this, and you're feeling very nice. That was the best moment. And like I was telling, yeah, one advice or suggestion or whatever is what I was saying is that teacher is a what do you say, a national builder. Like they are just not only teaching, but they are making the students like engineers, doctors. They are giving, so many professions are building up only through teachers. Like if there is a no teacher, where are the professions coming from? So I insist the children to respect the teachers and don't take them for granted. And I would think this is a very fortunate enough year also, that there's, I'm not very sure, but it seems there is a logo. Like we have logo for, what do you say, lawyers
Yes,
and doctors.
yes.
They have given a logo for teachers. This year they have granted a logo for teachers also. So now has become more respectable full job, and even the teachers would enjoy, or maybe they'll feel really worth, like whatever they are doing, maybe they'll find it really fruitful for what they are being, giving so much of effort and commitment they are doing. So that's really I mean, I would thank government also for this. And I again, once again, wish all the students and teachers a very happy Teachers' Day. Respect teachers, and they are our national builders, of course.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you, Suchita ji. I think all the teachers are done. And I think we have come too far now. It has been almost 1.5 hours, almost 2 hours actually. And we are talking. It's been amazing. I am really, really grateful to all of you who have spared out time. They are all teachers, and we know they're all busy all day long, having very hectic schedules, meetings, classes, and all of that. Even out of that, you found time for ourselves. You accepted our invitation at a very short notice. Thank you everyone for that. It was amazing to listen from all of you, your experiences, your thoughts, your ideas, and we kind of feel more connected to you as students now. And it's a big opportunity for us to have you. I hope this Teachers' Day, we couldn't give you all flowers, we couldn't cut a cake for all of you, we couldn't give you a treat, but this was the way in which we could give you all a digital tribute, maybe employing digital media in some better ways. And I'm really, really, me, my team, we are really grateful to you. Thank you, Tushar, Pranay, Mamta, for joining us. It was a pleasure. Otherwise, me and Pavan do it single-handedly, but today we had a good support system throughout the journey, and it's been amazing to see kids being so proactive for sessions like these. We usually misunderstand kids that they don't respect their teachers and all, but see, kids have come here to listen from all of you. It's really amazing. Pavan, you want to add something, and then we can all. And by the way, at the end, we are all going to wish a Teachers' Day to all the teachers together. So before that, if you want to add something, Pavan, you can add.
Well, I don't think there's anything to add in the first place. I just like to ask whether Sevin sir is still using the hammock we gifted him or not. And so yeah, that's about it. I think I don't have anything. I think
Nakulji has had to leave because he had an urgent commitment. So I think we can wind up now. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, before
yeah, Pranay has.
yeah, before leaving, so before leaving, I also would like to wish all the teachers here a very happy National Teachers Day, and in advance, happy International Teachers Day, which falls
Yes.
on October 5th.
October
The
5th.
next month, October 5th, we have International Teachers Day. So wish you all happy National Teachers Day and in advance International Teachers Day. And really, you teachers, as Suchita also has said, teachers are the builders of nation. Yes, it is. So
Thank you, Pranay. I really hope this session is a
Lovepreet,
takeaway.
Lovepreet,
Yes, please.
Can I? I just want to say that this was an amazing experience. This is the first time I've gone through this session, this type of live sessions, and I would like to thank that I'm so fortunate. I'm really thankful to CD Bath platform who gave this wonderful opportunity to express ourselves. Thank you so much, and you have a lot of way to go, Lovepreet. You are amazing orator. Great. I just love the way you are coordinating the thing. Great. All the best to the team. Tushar,
Thank
your
you
smiley face and your way of coordinating the things is amazing. Pawan, good luck. Good luck, boy.
And you won't believe Tushar really was enthusiastic about the session today, and he's really young. He's younger than all of us. He's the youngest in the session right now, and he's really enthusiastic. Pawan and I mean, this podcast started from nowhere, but we are so glad we have so many wonderful people like you coming up and making this, or adorning this platform with your views and ideas. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to all the viewers. I hope this is a takeaway for all of you, whether you are students or teachers. We will remain students for the rest of our lives, but whoever is inspiring, yes. Please,
also, I would like to thank to Mamta Bishnoi who treated me, who mentioned me, who treated me as her favorite mentor, and she nominated me for this session. So I thank you, Mamta Bishnoi, for being such a wonderful student of mine. Yes.
I want to say something about ma'am. Yesterday it was sent in group that you have to participate, you have to bring a teacher. I was very confused at to whom should I bring. I have many teachers, but they will be busy in their work because online classes are going on, all that. Then I found that when I typed in my WhatsApp ma'am, then I found it Naina ma'am. I thought that Naina ma'am would be the best ma'am. I will select her. I asked her that you are free or not. Then Lovepreet messaged that it's tomorrow. Then I asked ma'am that you are free tomorrow or not. She said yes. I will. Thank you so much, Mamta, for giving me this chance. I was very happy to have ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for expecting my invitation. Thank you so much,
It's my complete pleasure, Mamta. Like students like you motivating me so much to keep me live and happy.
Happy Teachers Day to all.
We have a personal gratitude session going on here. But yes, I am the one who does not have a teacher who has taught me, like properly taught me in classes till date. But to all of you, if you're listening to me right now, I'm truly grateful to all of you. It's all because of you and my parents and wonderful friends like Pawan, Tushar, Pranay, and all of them that we are here today. It's a long way to go. I really hope this session is a takeaway for all of you. You all learn something from it. And the most important thing, always remember, it's all a give and take. Respect your teachers. Only then you'll get back the respect and understanding that you expect from your teachers. So expectations se pehle, what comes is responsibility. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned with us. We'll be coming up with more such interesting campaigns and episodes really soon. Till then, stay connected, and I hope this Teachers Day is actually a happy Teachers Day for all of you. Okay, on the count of 3, we are saying it together. 1, 2, and 3. Happy Teachers Day!
Happy Teachers Day
to one and all. Thank you so much, guys.
Have a nice time. Until next time. Goodbye.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, all my dear teachers. All my dear teachers. Thank you.
Bye, Naina ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Murli.
Bye.
Bye.